известных раввинов нашего времени Манис Фридман в прямом эфире отвечает на вопросы наших слушателей. Вы услышите мнение самой мудрой книги человечества – Библии, о самых сложных проблемах, стоящих перед современным миром. Присылайте ваши вопросы заранее на наш email info@rusa.fm или во время передачи по СМС 347 460 08 77.
What is going to happen? And it's already happening. But what you're going to see a lot of is the exposure. All negative, ugly, selfish, bad things that have been hiding behind fancy words, good excuses, political institutions.
Oh, this is not exactly what we wanted to happen today. That's an interesting way to start the program. But now at least everybody knows what we're going to be doing. And this is a recording, actually, of Rabbi Fridman. If you remember, this is what you told us. Usually I like to put this on because this is what you kind of give us a little bit of an update about what's going to be happening next Jewish year. But that show is actually that's something we do right before Rosh Hashanah, which is next week. So this is kind of a little bit unexpected in advance. I'm so sorry about this. This is a little bit of a technical error. I'm just going to say to our people, я прошу прощения, у нас такие маленькие технические неполадки только что произошли, но на самом деле случайностей не бывает. На будущей неделе сразу хочу предупредить всех, мы будем говорить с раввином Манисом Фридманом в передаче Thank God It's Tuesday, которая вот уже сейчас началась, и Ребби Фридман уже с нами. Мы будем говорить о том, что предстоит, какой вот год следующий может нас ожидать, потому что у нас в следующую пятницу, не в эту, а в следующую, начинается новый еврейский год, то есть это такое особое время для всего человечества. На самом деле мы каждый раз говорим, что это день рождения Адама, то есть день рождения всего человечества. Сотворение мира уже начнется за 6 дней до следующей пятницы, то есть, так я понимаю, это начнется в понедельник. Вот. Но это все такое, все духовное, уникальное, и мы об этом поговорим. У нас целая передача на это отведена в следующий вторник, в самом преддверии вот этого главного события праздника Рош Хашаны, начала года. И, естественно, мы понимаем, что в жизни много всего происходит. Ребби Фридман нам всегда немножечко говорит, что нам можно ожидать. И вот именно эта передача у нас состоится в следующий вторник. А в этот вторник я хочу поделиться со всеми и сказать, что я была на совершенно уникальном ретрите Бейсхана. Это организация, которую организовал Ребби Манис Фридман очень много лет тому назад. Вот об этом мы хотим с ним сегодня поговорить. То есть я просто поделюсь с вами, что вот я была там было много-много женщин, далеко не всех соблюдающих, некоторых да, некоторых нет. Но каждая женщина, которая была там, она со мной абсолютно согласна. Вот я это ощутила, они все это ощутили, что там какое-то совершенно другое чувство, чем кто-либо когда где-то ощущал. Вот это вот единство, добро. Вот если можно сказать, что если где-то Бог есть, то Он точно был там. Вот это было мое ощущение, и это то ощущение, которое разделили со мной абсолютно все женщины, которые были там, потому что Бейсхан — это, естественно, только для женщин, это ретрит для женщин, где женщины отдыхают на природе, общаются, учатся, и это вообще целая организация, которую создал Ребби Манис Фридман, и я вот хотела бы с ним поговорить на эту тему, как вообще... Давайте я сразу перейду к нему, чтобы не терять времени, и это будет намного интереснее. Rabbi Manis Fridman, hello, thank God it's Tuesday. Thank you so much for allocating this hour to us, and I just told our listeners that I had the privilege and the pleasure of spending last weekend at Base Hana Retreat in Lake George. I mean, it's a beautiful retreat. It's a beautiful place, but the beauty was not in the place. It was in spirit. It was an amazingly beautiful spiritual experience. And I just thought that usually you need 10 men for godliness to be present. But I've been in a company of 10 men, on the side, and I not even closely experienced the godliness, the spiritual high that I have experienced being among women. And not all of these women were observant, let's say close. I don't want to say anything. Different level of observancy, different level of spirituality, but this togetherness, this unity. I mean, realistically, this is the second year I have gone, and I have never ever felt anywhere the way I feel in the presence of these Jewish women that come from all over the world, all over. We had people from France. We had people from, I believe, Ecuador and California. I mean, all over America. Not a tremendous amount of women. What was it, about between 50 and 70 women? I did not count, but that's what it felt like. But it's magic. You feel so much less physical and so much more spiritual, and it's spirituality on high. So this is why I would like to speak to you about this organization. It's an organization that you have formed many years ago, and I would like to first know how it was formed, how long ago it was formed, what its mission is, what its programs are. I mean, we'll take it step by step. I just want to give a little bit heads up to our listeners what to expect and what is going on. What is going on with spirituality in this organization? How come it's spirituality on high like nowhere else? What is happening? What's causing it? And yes, no drugs, no drugs present. Just very healthy atmosphere. A lot of good food and a lot of good people.
Good food.
Oh yeah, good food. Food was excellent, very healthy. This is really love that aspect as well. It's always, it's not the most important part, but it's certainly a very, very nice enhancement.
Yeah, there were no drugs, and there was no religiosity.
Yeah.
That's an important part of it. So actually, if you want a little bit of the history, it started about 51 years ago, excuse me, in Minnesota, at the Chabad Center there. 1971, we purchased a new building for the Chabad house. And it was an old monastery. So it was large, had many bedrooms. And it was empty for the summer, because everybody's out of town. So we're thinking, what can we do during the summer to use this building? And almost half-heartedly or jokingly, we thought, there's no place for women to go to something like a yeshiva. Women who want to learn, who have not learned, who don't know anything, Hebrew, nothing. There was not a single place for them to go. So we thought, building's empty, bedrooms are available, let's invite college students to come and study a little bit. And we meant a little bit. After all, it's their vacation time. So we thought, if they would come, we would put them up, we would feed them. They'll do a little sightseeing, and they'll do a little shopping, and
sleep late. I mean, after all, it's vacation. And then sometime in the afternoon, maybe we'll have a class, maybe in the evening when they come back from shopping. This is 1971. 18 women showed up. Most of them were the radical students of the 60s who had tried to change the campuses to protest the war in Vietnam. These were the tough, brave, ambitious women who belonged to the SDS, Socialist Democratic Society or something. I don't remember what it was called. They were radicals. They were radicals. And they were disappointed because the revolution never happened. The war didn't stop and the campuses didn't change. But we had sent out a little flyer to 6 campuses, and 18 women show up because the flyer said, "Come discover the purpose of life." They came in angry. You know the purpose of life? Whoa, calm down. So when we told them that the plan is that they'll do a little sightseeing, a little shopping, a little sleeping late, oh no, not these women. They had way too much energy and way too much idealism, and it ended up that I had to be the teacher, which was not part of the plan. But they wanted to know, they wanted to learn. You invited us. Now you better teach us. They weren't concerned with the food. They weren't concerned with the arrangements. They were sleeping in their sleeping bags and in their. Without exaggeration, classes started 9 o'clock in the morning and ended 8 o'clock in the morning. They didn't need to eat. They didn't need to sleep. They were on fire. So we studied and debated and discussed and learned throughout the day.
What did you teach them?
So what do you teach somebody who can't read Hebrew? Obviously, we're not going to go through a thorough educational process here, right? So you got to go with the basics. We started with Tanya.
That's basics.
I read the Hebrew and translated and discussed. It was unbelievable. Every class was, wow, life-changing. Wow, I never knew that. Wow, that makes... Basically, what they wanted to know is, we tried to fix society. We tried to make life better or people better. It didn't work. What do you think you have that can make life better and make people better? And they found it. Tanya was so relevant to them. Made so much sense. And it looked like a plan how to make the world better. So they taught me all about politics, about the military-industrial
complex.
Complex. Yeah. And the corruption and the problems and really. And I thought...
It wasn't 2023, it was 1971?
Yeah.
Oh, so we've been going through this for a while now.
So I thought, okay, now I know what's going on campuses. This was 3 months of the summer. It was so good that we decided to do it again the next summer. And I was ready because I knew all about the military-industrial complex corruption problems. 1 year later, 1972, Nobody was interested in politics. Nothing. You couldn't even start a conversation about it. All they were interested in was Buddhism, Eastern religion, meditation.
Same women or different women?
Different women. Everybody had a guru. Everybody had a master, and they were all into cults. That was the only thing they were interested in. So, for 3 months, I found out all there is to know about Buddhism and Hinduism, and so it was so good. 42 women showed up. And the results were so good, we thought, maybe we should make a winter session also. Because there's a break in January, or at the end of December, there's a break from college. People can come for a week. So we offered a week. 102 women show up in Minnesota in January.
Rabbi Fridman, just wanted to know, the Buddhism and Hinduism, what happened to them after the 3-month session with you?
So about 70% of them went to Crown Heights. They didn't have anything for them over there. Some of them sat in on the classes of 9-year-old girls in Beis Rivka. They were desperate to learn, to practice, to live the life, and they became part of the community. Eventually, they started a school for them and a dormitory and so on. But for the first couple of years, so this was in January after the of 72. This is January 73. Only a few months later, nobody was interested in Buddhism. It was over. It was finished for the Jewish kids. All they were interested in is macrobiotic foods and seaweed and carrot juice. We had 5 kitchens, 5 different styles of cooking, because this one ate this, everybody had their own. And they were feeding me carrot juice. You know what happens when you drink carrot juice?
You turn orange.
Your palms turn orange. Not from handling the carrots. Internally, so that was a whole new experience. Every year, it's a different world. What they were interested in a few months ago, gone, over, done with, nobody cares. The only subject that remained consistent was family. If the class was getting a little boring or a little, people were starting to yawn, all I had to do was say, most women turn out to be like their mothers. That was always dynamite. Whoa, did that get a reaction? Because family, marriage, divorce, always, always intense interest. That's been forever. So what I learned most about life in these United States is about relationships, the dating habits, the dating style, lifestyle, marriage, divorce, in-laws, cheating. Always, always a big topic. It still is. Could be that today it's the only topic that it really means anything to anybody, because everything else is disappointing. So that's how it all started. It was unique because it wasn't about becoming religious. And it wasn't about becoming a Hebrew scholar. I mean, they were only there for a month, most of them. So what can you learn in a month? Even less. Actually, some women came for a weekend. What could you learn? Basics. What is a Jew? What is the Torah? Who is God? That's about all you can do in a week or even in a month. So we didn't try to teach Hebrew. We didn't try to make them religious because it's too quick, too fast, It was like, look, I'm going to tell you what the reality is, and then you're going to leave and you're going to have to handle it. It was very, very effective. What was beautiful about it was that we had no age limits. Word got out that there's good learning for women. Women who were not in college started coming. Grandmothers started showing up. And not just from the Midwest, because we sent the flyers to 6 colleges in the Midwest. All of a sudden, people were coming from California. People were coming from Russia, from Israel. So we were in St. Paul, Minnesota. Can you imagine somebody coming from Yerushalayim to St. Paul, Minnesota to learn Judaism?
Amazing.
But that was happening. So we had 1 year, we had a 14-year-old from England, very smart girl, sitting next to a grandmother from Morocco. It was so strange because she was 14, the girl, going on 15. This grandmother from Morocco got married at 15. The difference between them and their mentality and their culture and they're sitting in the same class, listening and hearing the same lecture, the same subject, and both were benefiting. This is, I tell you, that is amazing.
Rabbi Fridman, that is actually my question. I mean, this time around too, we had younger and older and everywhere in the middle women, and age was not a factor whatsoever. Everybody was very interested in being together, learning together, growing together. But this aspect of spirituality on high, how do you explain that? How do you explain that? Because realistically, it's just it feels like it truly is an slightly out of body experience. It seems like the physicality stops to matter, and it becomes such a unity of spirit. I'm a little bit worried to sound insane right now, and
take a chance.
Yeah, I am. I'm actually taking a chance because this is the second time I felt it. I felt like out of body experience. That's the best that I can explain it. Without drugs, without alcohol, without any kind of special effects, just by being there, just by being together, just by studying. What do you think causes this? And I know I'm not the one who felt this. I mean, I don't want to sound like, I don't want to add more to it than what it is, because what it is amazing and truly something that, you feel so comfortable. You feel like there's no threat. This is probably the only place that I felt more comfortable than anywhere else to be myself and to learn and to interact. And I felt very safe. And I think every woman there feels exactly that. Not that that's what we go there for. This is just an incredible side effect. Can you explain why this is happening? And I'm sure it's been probably something that everybody has been saying to you all along from the year 1971, since this organization was formed and since this has been happening?
We had one woman, maybe in the 80s, who was a therapist, a psychologist, social worker, whatever. She was there for a couple of days, and she was puzzled. People felt safer in the environment there at Beis Chana than they do when they come to her for counseling. Her clients don't feel as safe with her as all these people felt with each other at this retreat. So safety, feeling safe, it's a very common reaction that people are taken by surprise. They open up, they're completely honest with each other, they say things they never told anybody else, including their therapists. So actually, rather than describing it as an out-of-body experience, it was an experience where you actually felt in your body, and it was okay. It was an unusual in-body experience because the discomforts of life, the pressures, the tension, the anxiety, doesn't let you settle into your body. That's the disturbance of anxiety. When you feel really safe, you're okay with your own body, and there's peace between your body and your soul. So it could be like, oh boy, I'm feeling my soul more than ever, so this is an out-of-body experience. And on the other hand, I'm totally comfortable with my body, so it's an in-body experience. It's the harmony between body and soul. And it comes not because of something that we're doing, but because of the things we don't do. There is no expectation, no demands, no agenda. Come, we'll be Jewish. We'll be Jewish. What kind of Jew? Don't care. Don't care. Come and enjoy being a Jew. How will that express itself? Who knows? Maybe you'll eat more cholent. I don't know. Doesn't matter. So there's no drugs. There's no anything. It's completely free of agenda, free of expectation, free of demand. Nice to be Jewish, no? Yeah, okay, that's it. That's all we're going to say. We want to talk about Jewish history, Jewish stories, fine, whatever you want.
Rabbi Friedman, and there's another thing that is an incredible side effect. We come in and we kind of judge this world a little bit like, this is my kind of thing, and this is not my kind of thing. This is my kind of person. This is not my kind of person. And what has happened to me absolutely twice, okay, in the first retreat and the second retreat, is that the person who initially I thought was the least my kind, turned out to be the most. And it was, I go to Beis Chana without expectation. Well, I'll be honest. The first time I went was with expectation to have be around you in the 3D environment, where we're not on Zoom, but where we can actually hear your lectures live. And that was the reason why I initially went to Beis Chana. But that is amazing, but it was not the thing as I thought it would be. Friedman, of course, please understand that this is a huge honor to be in your presence always. But it's,
of course.
Yeah. But the things that you totally don't expect happen. So the person who I thought would be least of my kind of person turned out to be the most impressive and amazing person that I got to know. And again, this happened 2 times in a row, last year and this year. And, the whole world is looking for love. Everybody wants love. Everybody is seeking out love, and everybody goes somewhere, and God is about love, and major concerts, you feel the love, and everybody wants this love feeling. I do not go to Beis Hana for love, but this is exactly what I get. The feeling of love is overwhelming. When you take a look at each one of these women there, after first few hours, even less than that, everyone is an incredible universe, an incredible story, an incredible energy, and you cannot help yourself but feel this love towards another person, another human being who is there. Again, at the risk of sounding insane, this is what I felt, and this is what absolutely every single woman there felt. And we're still on chats, and we're still can't get enough of each other, and this keeps on going. What is this? How is this caused? Why is it so easy there, and it's not so easy for us in our everyday life? Because we all want it.
And it's the same cause, the same when you're relieved of all your anxieties and should be and what needs to be and you're just allowed to be yourself. People are very nice. just relax, and when they have nothing but Judaism in common, you make friends like no place else, because you're completely honest with each other. There's no way you can impress the other women. There's no way they can impress you, because nothing matters. And yet, you're idealistic, you're looking for something, you want to be better, you want to grow. The word safe really does describe. You're safe with your body and you're safe with your soul. That doesn't happen. If you go to a spiritual retreat, you're not so safe with your body. If you go to a spa, you're not so safe with your soul. To be completely comfortable with your body and your soul at the same time, it's a little heavenly. So
a lot heavenly, I would say, for sure.
So when people are that relaxed, only goodness comes out. Because why not? Being good is the right thing. Being good is what we all want. And yet it seems so difficult to get there because of all the noise and all the distractions and all the demands and all the needs that we think we have. You come to Beis Hana, and the first message is, you don't need anything. We'll provide. You don't need anything except to get comfortable and listen. All of a sudden, all those burdens fall away. No expectations. You can ask any question you want. You can offer any opinion you want. People will either agree with you or disagree with you, but they will enjoy your conversation because nobody's threatening. Nobody's out to get anybody else. Nobody's recruiting you to their cause, not even the cause of Judaism. Because the fact that you're Jewish and you're there for a Jewish event can't be better. The rest is commentary. Jews enjoying Jews. There's nothing better. There is nothing better.
So the prerequisite is to be Jewish to feel this way?
That is one of the prerequisites.
Rabbi Fridman, did you know that this is going to turn out this way? Is it something that was pre-planned? Because usually any organization has a mission statement that we want to accomplish this. This is the reason for our formation and our work.
Well, it's really consistent with the feminine psyche. If it was a group of men, it wouldn't be that safe. Because there are so many mitzvahs daily that you have to be doing. Well, every day goes by, you don't do it. There's tension, there's pressure, there's expectation. And as a result, there is resistance. I don't like tension. I don't like expectations. So I will not do the mitzvah, and you will not convince me. There's always something going on with men, because men are always trying to achieve something or prove something. Women don't need that. Women love what is perfect in the world, and just leave them alone to enjoy the goodness of the world, and they're fine. Men don't like that. What do you mean everything's good? You got to find something that's not good, a good agenda. But the feminine psyche is, if everything is perfect, wow, that's perfect. You can actually get excited because there is nothing to fix. Men get the present approach to Judaism. You are Jewish, you will always be Jewish, you're as Jewish as you can get, relax. That's the other thing is, after a few years, so we thought we should name it Beis Chana. Chana was the name of the Rebbe's mother. Like anything that carried his mother's name, the Rebbe took a special interest. It became personal. And I think that the blessing that the Rebbe gave, maybe say a few woos me, the Rebbe saw me. So for 50 years, like the last 20, we have college students. For college students, we have teenagers. For their program, older women, when you attended, we have single mothers. So I guess this is the age of specialization, and we have to treat each segment of society differently. So that's what we're doing now. We have about 15 sessions a year, from 3 weeks with the teenagers to 3 days for mature women, depending on how much time they can take off. It's also not always in Minnesota. People are not so willing to put up with the winters and the snow and the airports being closed and delays, and so we take it to different places.
And so people still come from all over. They come from all over the world. Wherever you have it, people come. Rabbi Fridman, when I speak to people, why they are always, have very special relationship with you, with your Zoom lectures or YouTube lectures, everybody says the same thing. Everybody says Rabbi Fridman is so easy to understand, so easy. Whatever information you give, it's easily comprehensible. And I've noticed that Beis Chana teachers have the same style of teaching. They're very easily understood, they're very personable, and they're definitely very caring. What kind of prerequisites, how do you find teachers for Beis Chana? Because they're pretty amazing ladies teaching there.
We've had so many different teachers because there are so many educated, intelligent women, and of all of them, we're down to about 3 that we invite consistently and almost represent Beis Chana now because of these qualities that you're describing. Not every educated woman is easily understood. Not every inspired woman is inspiring. So, yeah, we went through a lot of different candidates, and we're down to about 3 or 4 that are really the right tone, the right message, the right personality, and it creates that atmosphere.
Who right now is the person who runs Beis Chana, who is responsible for choosing the right teachers, choosing the right programs, choosing the right places to meet, and organizes everything wonderful that is happening at Beis Chana?
That's Mrs. Hindalea Sharfstein. She started as a student in her college years, and when it became necessary, she took control, and she introduced some of the changes, like it doesn't have to be in Minnesota, and it should be special for college women. They like to be among their own. Although there's something very nice about having a mixed age group, because that's like real life. In real life, not everybody is 20. But still, they're accustomed to being among their own age group, so that's what we do.
Rabbi Fridman, are there a lot of incredible stories after women have had this? I personally know a lot of women for whom Beis Chana was a life-changing experience, for whom it transformed their lives, who definitely got a lot out of it and are so grateful to Beis Chana. Are there any stories that stand out that maybe you can tell us something that really, really stands out, some sort of inspiration? I think every story is inspirational, but maybe there's this one that you can share with us.
I don't know if there is one. 50 years of watching people's lives change, it becomes like, yeah, sure. What, your life didn't change? Oh, what a failure. We must have done something really wrong. Because if you come and you hear about Torah and about your own soul and who you are, if it doesn't change your life, then we have failed. Then we're not saying enough. We're not doing the right thing. Something is wrong if bringing Torah into your life doesn't change your life. Something's wrong. And I don't mean change your life in terms of your schedule, that you don't work on Shabbat, for example. That's not life-changing. That's lifestyle changing, which is sometimes good too. But it's not as exciting as life-changing. Because when the fundamentals change, it's a whole different life. It's not just different activities. So some people can become more observant, but their life doesn't change. Their schedule changes. But most people, when you hear the truth, when you get it, you're a different person. You're a different person. Your husband doesn't recognize you. That's the way it should be. So that's not the surprise. The surprise is when it doesn't happen. Anybody walks away from Beis Chana and says, wow, what went wrong?
Rabbi Fridman, amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything you do. I mean, Beis Hana, your lectures, your organizations, and it's just amazing how you and everyone who is involved with you are just changing the world with each word at a time, each word, each experience, each everything. It's just incredible. Thank you so much for everything you're doing. Thank you for the time you allocate for us weekly. It's absolutely priceless. I can never thank you enough for it on behalf of our entire community, our entire radio. And hopefully next Tuesday, thank God it's Tuesday, we'll get to speak about what kind of year we should look forward to. Hopefully, yeah, we all know that we're getting so close. We all feel it. We all already. It's very hard for anybody to see not to see that the world is changing, and it's changing more and more rapidly with every second. So I so look forward to next week's conversation when we're already so close to a change of energy. This is what's going to happen, not this Friday, but next Friday. And I still look forward to talking to you about it.
And I've been getting regards from you, people you know or people you're friends. The most recent one was in Chabad of Bensonhurst.
Oh.
A large Russian community, and they listen to you, or they know you personally, and that's why they came to the program.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Last Saturday night.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rabbi Fridman. Until next week, be well, and thank you from all of us.
Only good news.
Only good news. Ну и с этими словами я, Аня Пекерман, передача Thank God It's Tuesday. Прощаемся со всеми до следующей недели. И вот то, о чем мы сегодня говорили с Ребой Фридманом, есть такая организация, это я сейчас обращаюсь к женщинам, просто дам спеллинг B-A-I-S, это Beis Hana, H-A-N-A, Beis Hana. Это что-то совершенно, вот даже нельзя себе представить, что существует такое, что вот просто настолько чистое, настолько особенное, настолько приближает, вдохновляет, улучшает состояние человека без ничего. То есть на самом деле совсем, без всяких препаратов и приемов. И, то есть вот оно есть, вот такое абсолютно натуральное, живое и очень-очень мудрая. Так что, пожалуйста, посмотрите, женщины, на эту организацию. Ну а всем остальным я желаю хорошего дня, хорошей недели и прощаюсь со всеми до следующего вторника, до передачи Thank God It's Tuesday.
WWPR 105.1 FM HD2 New York.